Hello my fellow mayors and welcome once again to the city of Bedrock, the city in which I plan to reach 1 million population on the hard mode. In the previous episode, as short as it was, I managed to get this highway system going. I even managed to get some roads here to see how exactly this area would look like. Now there are a few more things that I need to finish up before I can keep expanding that new area. I need to get some of these ramps back to this highway so I can have things going on and off these ramps for this part of the city. See that here I can have an on-ramp onto the highway, and over here someplace I need to find a ramp off the highway. This could be one. I'm purposely targeting places where I have commercial buildings that are not taking up more than 2 or 3 squares. There we go. And one last ramp could go down and onto the street here, which is kind of dead end because it isn't connecting to this one here. And I'm not entirely sure why these are not connected. Have I just forgotten to connect them back when I was redoing the city? It wouldn't be bad to have a connection here. So let's see if we can get this to go over here. Then I will probably need to curve it a little bit. Seems like I can go a little bit forward, but then I have this pillar in the way around which I should be able to go like this. And then from here to here. Excellent. Another connection just made between these two parts of the city. Now it would be perfect if I could get a ramp to go, if this one was a non-ramp, to go off of the highway here, off of this pillar and onto the street. But the problem is this ramp here is too close. In that case, how about I first destroy that one? Nope, this still will not happen. Okay. How about from here? No. Alright, let's try it like this. These things are still in the way. Finally. And I can bring this one back over here as a connection that was coming through here. Excellent. That's done. I can now connect this highway with some ramps with this one over here. As for these two highways, I can have the things going from here into here and from here into this one. That will just need to be a curved. Because they're going from here into here. There we go. That should be enough for here. And as for this place over here, I should get a few as well. Alright, now I am not even gonna make the rest of this highway here because it's not necessary. And I have also decided against building a train station here because it would create too many problems getting the railway system down here. So without a cargo train station, as for the incinerators, I could get 2 here, but the road is too big to fit them here. I'll need to move it. For the incinerators to fit, they usually need around 5 squares. So if this would give me 4 squares of space, I need to place the road here, and that should be enough for 2 incinerators. There we go. I'll turn them off. Well, actually I could turn one on and then turn one off in one of these areas, for example this one up here. Then I can have 2 turned on here, D1 turned on here, and they should be able to take care of all the garbage. Now I need to connect back the street that I disconnected, and over here to see whether or not I can fit another power station. Now I'm thinking about the solar power plant, as I have used them before, because the incineration plants will create pollution, and right there in that pollution I can fit a power station without having anything to worry about the polluting people at work, because that doesn't seem to happen. It's interesting that the game doesn't seem to actually have citizens care about where they work or the conditions in which they work. So that would be a new solar power plant. Now I could turn it on to have it service these areas here with the power, but the power seems to be able to flow over here through this space because these buildings are so close, so I don't even need to turn it on, and I already have enough megawatts. Now that I know where this thing is going to end, I can have a street going right next to it and then connect to the street leading up here into this part of the city. From here I can now delete these streets and have them go and create the exact amount of space between the highway and the next part of the city. For example, here I need to have around 4 to 5 spaces depending on whether or not I'm going to put parks here, but as far as I saw, I was kind of overdoing it with the parks being so close to each other, like you can see here. Whoops, not that one, this one. You can see that the parks are so close and I have excellent coverage here, well then I have problems down here with the coverage. So it is not necessary to have them right there next to the highway. I can have them like in the middle, and they will give good coverage between these two parks when their area of effect intersects. So it will be enough to have 4 zones here, but I already have this street going down here, creating 5 zones because of the incinerators. I'm going to keep to this and have 5, because it's not even a bad idea to keep the residents away from the noise pollution created by the highways. So yeah, I'll keep using this orientation of the street. Now I will delete this. This is just proof of concept, and I will place it later on when I see where exactly it's going to go. So to continue, these streets need to go down here, and then I will just make zones that are going to allow for back-to-back buildings at 4x8 zones. And that should be excellent like this. And I can just keep going. Now over here I am going to have some problems because there's a valley and a hill here, so these streets aren't giving off the exact zones that you would need to have 4x4 streets connect 4x4 zones next to each other. But redoing some of the streets may help to fix that problem. Again over here, same issue. Not sure, is it the curve of the streets that is producing 3x4s or what? Yeah, very annoying when that happens. Guess I can try just going with the vertical connections later on and first have the horizontal ones in place. It's very annoying that I have to spend so much cash just relaying roads. But if I want perfect squares, money isn't really something that I should be worrying about. Now this isn't gonna work like this. I need to disconnect and remake it. Next one is over here. And again you see, same issue. I actually have to remake these as they are connected. They sometimes destroy the perfect squares and the perfect zoning. So they simply have to be remade in order to fit more perfectly with the design. Okay, much better than before. Now let's see what we can do with these. Seems I would be hitting a pillar in here. I think I can go around this problem. Oh, come on. Really? There we go, much better. Well, to get this street through here, I will have to raise this part here. Just not sure, can I raise it already? Because of this connection here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I can, excellent. Good, this will work out. And the same thing can be done for this one. It can go down a little bit later, although I don't think it's even necessary. It is enough for this one to have been erased so that this one can be connected with these roads here, and that should be pretty much everything. I can probably make some more connections here if the game would let me click on this road, but that's fine. There we go, pretty much perfect squares. Now what will happen when I connect with the streets? Hopefully these squares will stay okay. So far so good. Excellent. Am I missing anything else? I am missing some connections between this highway and this one up here. The highways both go to the right. So if I want anybody to go from this highway to this one, I need to connect like this. And from this one into this one, connect like this. Okay. That's enough of these connections. I need to get the water system through here. Now, one thing that I am trying to do is to improve my channel with your input. So if by any chance you haven't done the subscriber survey, there is a link in the description of this video as well as all the previous ones. I would be very thankful for you if you could answer the questions in that survey, because they will help me improve my channel. I've already started making improvements by changing some of the graphical looks of my channel. You probably have noticed the new banner, the new logo. I have made a new intro or two, and I have allowed you to be able to choose which of the intros you like, and I even made a second attempt at redoing the intros that you did like. So like I always say, your input is very important to me, so please do give me your input, and it will help me make this a better channel and a better let's play and improve my gameplay with this game. Alright, also before I forget, please make sure to send me your save files if you want me to showcase your city in one of my videos, and you can do it over you can do that over the Steam Workshop, or you can just send the save file to me at my email address perablenta@gmail.com. Now let's see for the zones, but before the zones I need to see about the public transportation. Excellent, there's already a connection here onto which I can add the metros. The school coverage, there's no coverage from the elementary except a little bit here. From the high schools there's good coverage over here. From the university, very low coverage here. So a new university will have to be made here, new high school here, and new elementary schools here. As for the fire department, very low coverage. Actually, this is the police, so very low coverage. I will need a new police headquarters. As for the fire station, yep, low coverage over here to the end. So new firehouse most likely, and not a station. A new clinic, a new crematorium over here. And of course the parks are gonna go here in the middle and on the left side. If I'm mentioning the parks, I might as well fit one of them already. I just need to figure out where should I put it. For example, I could put this huge one here in the middle. and see how it goes from here. Alright, so utilities, check. Services, we've seen where they should go. I do need to make a new district here, that's true. Especially because of the policies that are specifically used for new areas. The policy for tax reduction is the one I'm thinking about right now, in order to reduce the taxes and help the teams move in. Pet ban to reduce the amount of garbage accumulated, parks and recreation to help them level up faster, tax relief for high density residential, and big business benefactor for the commercial areas. Alright, now how should I zone? Well, in order to avoid the high amount of noise pollution next to the highway, which is probably going to become very high, as we can see here, especially over here, I might as well do a thin line of what? If I go with the high density commercial zones, I would be just adding more noise pollution. If I go with the offices, that should soak up some of the noise pollution. So I will go 3x4, and that should be enough to soak up most of the noise pollution. Over here, there will be noise pollution coming off of this. I guess I can then put the offices in here as well. Now, I will definitely keep the zones off of this area here because there are so many intersections there. I mean, I could even totally not have this road here, and I will remove it if I see a problem with the traffic flowing through here. Alright, so those would be the offices. Next would definitely need to be commercial buildings. Now I know that I've just made a zone of offices to avoid the noise pollution, and now I'm adding noise pollution by creating more of the commercial buildings. And in that case, why not place the industry over here? Yeah, 4x4 industry, then 4x4 offices, then lots of commercial in here, and then across the street I can have the first areas of residential. Let's see, 4x4 up to here, avoiding this area here. And I'm also not very happy with them being turned onto the traffic flow streets. But it seems that over here that hasn't created too many problems, so I'm gonna go with it. And anyway, I will have the highway ramps being some of the cross streets, and there's no zoning on them, so that should be fine. Alright, so 4x4 residential, 1, then 2, then 3. Now, I'm not sure about the thickness of the residential zones, because there is a small problem where the residential zones are the only ones that actually create land value. If there isn't enough residential area, then it is unable to create high land value, because the land value is created in the intersection between buildings who create land value. So you can see over here I have a very high land value. Okay, I am using the advanced policies for land value, the high the ones for parks and recreation, and also over here for this area I'm using the high-tech housing. So the land value is increased by those, but there is also enough of the residential zones that their thickness allows for a lot of these buildings to intersect their land value. That is the reason why I'm trying to keep to 4x4 zones of residential in between these areas. Now I do need to keep away from all the noise and ground pollution created by the incinerators and the noise pollution from the solar power plants, so the residential areas can go up to here. And as for these areas, I might as well go with commercial, a little bit more perhaps, and then a residential can be the rest of it. At this point I can probably put in a metro stop here somewhere. Let's see, I could have placed it, yeah, here on the start. where the industry is. So delete these two and place a metro stop here and put this back. Now all I'm going to need is to get the lines to have a station here, to have a stop at this station. There we go, 3 connections, excellent. I will also need a bus line, but that will come later on. As far as I can see, no influence from elementary school, so one placed here should do the trick. As for the high schools, there seems to be coverage, and the next one would probably be here. University is gonna be over here. The parks, we'll see how much coverage I will get once this park is online. The firehouse will go over here. Police HQ also will have to go here to have good coverage. Yep, I think I can even take it all the way to the side. It will still give good coverage because there's another police headquarters over here. And that's another advantage of these city parts being interconnected by these streets, because they can share coverage from service buildings. Okay, and that would pretty much be everything. I can let the game run finally and see if I can get the number of streams up. It is currently at 133,430, now 90. It goes up and down at the moment. I do have a little bit more birds than that, but I'm hoping to see more teams moving in. Alright, so this will be industrial buildings, commercial buildings, and offices. Hopefully there will be some teams moving in. I mean, they did not finish building up here, but hopefully they will start building up down there as well. Seem to have missed a few squares here, and I also missed more than a bunch of squares here. I was pretty pissed off at myself when I noticed this. I'm not even sure what to put in here. I guess I could put in like small office buildings, 2 by 1, and maybe even they will build it up. We'll take a look later on what happened there. Okay, let's go back down here. So I'm going to increase the amount of available jobs by creating more industry, commercial, and offices here. It is currently standing at around 3,000 extra jobs available than I have the population employed. And it is also very interesting to note that only half of the population are actually people who are employed. I would kind of expect this number to be much higher, because when you take a look, I've got children at 5%, seniors at 25%, that's 30%, and then you add the teens, that's another 12%. Basically, yeah, 42% of these guys do not work, and the young adults and the adults work, so that's 20 plus 40, that's 60%, but still, that's 60%, while only 50% seem to be actual workers. So it is like that there is still a number of teams who do not work, even though they fit the young adults and the adults parts of this graph, and they should be workers. So what's the population? 133,800, so it went up a little bit, but still no new homes over here. Maybe there are some new up here, I haven't noticed. But since all of these areas have been filled with these zones, I might as well have new zones down here when it comes to the commercial, offices, and industry. So more commercial here, 2 zones of 4x4s, a zone of offices. Now before I continue, I would have almost forgotten to actually add a highway ramp, because this highway goes up. That means there should be a highway ramp going down. Now it's not going to be able to go down here because the road is too close to the highway itself, but it is going to be able to go over here. So I just need to jump over this street put the highway down, disable snapping to get the straight line, and then turn it back on to keep going forward. Although it still seems to want to go to the side, which I do not wish. I want to go straight, like this. It seems I'm going to have a problem with the elementary school being a little bit too big. How do we fix this? Well, I guess you can just move it down below. It is kind of a waste of money, but nothing I can do about it. And now from here, from this road, I can go up onto this highway. This one goes down, so the highway ramp should go like this. Alright, this can be filled as residential. These zones, I hope, did not get messed up, because the highway ramp does not have an actual zonable square that it gives off. So that should be fine. Over here I see a lot of ruined zones, and that is mostly due to the fact that there is a hill and a valley here, and when you connect two ways next to each other on a hill and a valley, they kind of destroy the zones. Well, I will then take care of these zones as offices. And the rest of these areas can become a little bit of generic industry. Now the industry I do need to keep away from the traffic flow streets, so I will zone like this. Alright, is this covered with the district? Yes, it is. Is the park coverage now good? Yeah, it's being lost over here. I think that can be fixed with a park being added to the edge. I am not going to be able to fit it below the highway. Or am I? Excellent! I can actually fit it below the highway. That's fantastic. Perfect. The power will get to it when it does through these zones. Now let's see, what am I going to be missing here? The university, which should go over here. I should just try to leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 these zones for the industry. Let's get a cross street here. The police headquarters, the fire station. It's a good question where I should be able to fit the crematorium and the clinic. I think I can get them down here. May not be the best coverage over here, so maybe better to put it a little bit closer, and let's say over here. Same with the crematorium. Okay, anything else? The buses. Yep, I do need a bus line here, and I will need a new metro stop down there as well. And I do have some homes being built up here. Excellent. I was hoping that that would happen. How am I with the workers? 69,000, almost 70,000, so 4,000 more jobs are opened. And seems should move in because I have more jobs. 134,000. Excellent. So I am managing to get, it seems, to come into the city. Well, I believe this was enough for this video. The prototype is working out nicely. These zones are getting built. The homes are getting built. I am getting more population. So that will be all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and please stay tuned for more.